in front of all my customers. And people wanted to fight her. I had people that really want to fight people on my comment. I don't want that. It's about peace. It's not that, two wrongs don't make it right. So I decided to go to across the country. And when I went across the country, I did a lot of crying. They call me the crybaby, but I can't help it the way that God made me. I'm a very sensitive, passionate person when it comes to people, and especially our veterans that people forget about. And I went through Kentucky. It took me 7 hours to get to 4 hour to Louisville, which is 4 hours from Charleston, because veterans were stopping me, crying, my shoulder. The Vietnam veterans were the most. They pulled me over. The little Iraqi veteran coming back, crying on my shoulder. I finally made it to Louisville. I see homeless veterans coming to me, crying and telling me their stories. Get to Missouri, same thing. We'll go straight from Missouri to Oklahoma, and I got sleepy. I called this American Legion post. They have kidnapped me for 3 days. For 3 days they kidnapped me. Didn't want to let me go. Met a widow. She's not getting the benefits because her husband died. I'm like, the story is getting sadder and sadder. Got all the way to Oklahoma. A veteran had me 6 hours in a truck stop, crying about the Vietnam. He even snotted in my hair. He slobbered all down my shirt. But it didn't make a difference, about the snot or the slobber. He had to get free. And he held his pain in his heart forever. Even though when he told me we'd never free him, because you always live with the war inside you. Went to Texas, would throw some trash away, because a lot of times I slept in my car because I didn't have money for a hotel, because nobody would sponsor me, and the sponsor that was going to sponsor me, he reneged 2 days before I went on the road. And I'm like, this is not even right. But I said, God, I know you're going to help me. You never left me, ever. Get to Texas, put some trash up, kick up the bag. The trash was laying. I can't stand clutter and stuff, so I started straight up the place full of trash. I said, I'm sleeping my car near that place. I make sure it's clean and straight. And kicked the bag, and I heard somebody go, oh. I'm like, who's there? Who's there? And this little old man, he said that it was so sad. World War II veteran. He shouldn't be out there sleeping like that. He was sleeping behind the garbage trash, eating dog food. I'm like, I said, sir, I have homeless veteran. Can you tell me what's your situation? Took him to the truck stop. He was really stinky. People in the truck stop was like this. The truck stop let him take a shower, and some truck driver was so nice, he went and bought some of his clothes out of his truck to get this man clean clothes. And I called a soldier home. I had just visited in Missouri, and he's from Missouri because his daughter had put him out, brought him down there and put him out, and he just went to the streets. He didn't know where else to go to. And got him to safe haven. Now he's in a safe haven now. Went to New Mexico, saw all the same different veterans living out in the street. Most of our older veterans are living out in the street. Most of the veterans coming back living out in the street. Seeing families broken. Get all the way to California. Get off the exit, says soldier home. I'm like, oh yes, another soldier home. I had a good time at the last one in Missouri. Everybody went to 150 rooms, feet killing me, back killing me. It didn't matter. These veterans all had stories to tell. And I was going to go to I went to all 150 rooms. Even though I couldn't hardly walk the next day, but it's not about me. Get to soldier home, get off the interstate, don't see no sign, say this way or that way. So I went to a convenience store, and while I was there with some veterans outside on a motorcycle, they treated me kind of cruelly. I'm thinking they're from the service, they're like, no. And this man walked up the store, and he smiled at me with a cowboy hat on. He smiled at me, and I waved and smiled back. And I go inside the store, and the manager was a veteran, and he said, I'm driving across the country. I told him what I was doing, and I said, he found the veterans home. He said, well, there's a veteran just walked up my store, you can help. He said, you help homeless veterans? I said, yes. So I went down the street, and I said, Lord, help me find him, if it's your will. found this man. I should never even spotted him the way he was walking. But he stood out to me. There's a bunch of trees all on the way. He stood out to me. Got over and talked to him. I said, I'll take you to the soldier home. They always have vacant homes. They're supposed to have a vacant home, I mean a room, 2 rooms for a veteran that's traveling or a veteran that come there for emergencies. Get to the veteran's soldier home. Security guards on the phone. Today talking personal talk. She didn't thank us for her service. You didn't work in the veteran's place. Okay, she would say, thank you for your service. What can I do to help you? She said, take him to a shelter. I said, well, I let her know. I said, man, I'm going to break it down to you. I have homeless veterans for almost 20 years. Every veteran, homeless veteran, is not going to go to a shelter. Because sometimes you get raped, you get stolen in there. They, a lot of veterans are also have isolation problems where they can be around other people. And, you know, it was just really sad. I took him to a hospital, and I lost it in the hospital. I completely lost it. I had to apologize. Because they said, take him to a shelter. I was like, what is this, shelter day? I said, don't worry. I said, get in the car, go with me. And he said, I'm trying to get to Oregon. I said, you know what? I'll give you all the money off my card, my debit card, and get you to Oregon. Because he said his surgeon was in Oregon. And he showed me all his stuff, you know, so he was telling the truth. Get down to Los Angeles. Drove for 2 hours in the car. I prayed the whole time. This veteran held his hand. And didn't know he was sick as a dog. Prayed with him. Went to American Legion, and they were like, what are you doing with this white boy up in here? All Black American Legion. They treat me like gold. They hugged me, but they didn't want to hug him. I was like, no, it don't work like that. We got out of there. I took him to the hospital. Got out of the car at the emergency room. I forgot I didn't get his name. And the hospital was like Fort Knox. They were like, you can't come in here if you got to know his name. I said, can you go back to the emergency room and tell this man that I'm here? No, we can't do that. I'm busy. So I got in my car, stayed with a friend in Riverside. 2 days later, that veteran called me because I had gave him, I always give veterans my number. I forgot I gave him my number. And he said, I'm in the hospital. Get to the hospital. Big solid door says, do not open the door. All visitors report to the nurse's station. So I go to the nurse's station. They took me back in a little room. I was back there for a whole hour. I'm sitting there. I'm being real patient. A surgeon and a doctor came in and said, we had to meet the hero. I said, hero? I was like, huh? I got a hero in that room. They said, no, you. That man had hepatitis C, HIV, Crohn's disease. He was bleeding internally. They rushed him right into surgery. So I saved his life. Spent 9 days in California, sleeping in my car, not eating, trying to get back and forth to the hospital to check on him. You know, it was just really such a situation with the guy. Went on the 8th day to the hospital. Went to the door. He had they put a PICC line inside him. You know what a PICC line is, don't you? And they took me in the hallway with the PICC line, and they had oxygen, and he couldn't hardly breathe. And I could hear those death rattles, like I heard with Cecil. And I said, no, maybe he's congested, but it was death rattles. It really was. And they had to kick me out. I stayed to visit time. They had kicked me out of there. I didn't want to leave. And in the hospital, you can't just stay all night like you do hospital back home. You go down to the waiting room and stay all night. And I had to leave. Went back the next day. His bed made up. Everything got his clothes. I said, what happened? You know, I called intensive care. The 3 intensive care they had, they didn't have him. I said, did he die? The nurse goes, like, you know, I'm like, did he die, ma'am? Please tell me, did he die? Because he needed to have a proper funeral. He's a soldier, you know. I never found if he died or not, but I feel like he did because he called me every day. So I'm driving. I did leave. I was so sad. I tried to get the news involved. Nobody would talk to me. They blew me off. Jay Leno told me, said, when I get some happy stories, call him then. I said, I'm sorry, all veteran stories are not happy. And then when it is happy, the next day is going to be sad. And